before the incurrence of that amount, is there a document that shows that you use this document to approve this figure, 1.8?
Yes, there is a document, one that was presented by Honorable Philip Rono. Thank you.
Okay, so in that document, because I have a document which goes to 1.88336.
Yes.
For example, are you able to confirm that maybe a bill, for example, Daniel Mwangi Kitata, that is the first patient.
Yes.
The amount that was that is allocated here is 172,362. So is that the actual amount that Kitata utilized until when he was discharged?
Thank you, Honorable. But I have looked at it when I requested to relook at the documents. The memo that comes from Davis Sang from our hospital accountant. I want to request in record that the clarification for the actual bill for Daniel Mwangi Kitaka that is representing here. I have also looked at the bill for Mercy Chepkoech Ruta, who is the deceased, and finally looked at the bill for Mercy Chalangat. I have studied in the small break that I was given, that I would wish for record purposes that we allow the CC Honorable Brenda to come and address it with sufficient documentation on Monday. Okay. Because this is an health matter.
So the first thing is that you are now confirming that you use this document to come up with these expenditures.
Yes, this was a request that came to us as a committee.
But the discrepancy, you are saying that we wait for the CC.
Discrepancy we can be able to confirm. However, I want to note for record that we have not paid any money to the hospitals. The two hospitals, that is Londiani Hospital and also Kericho County Referral Hospital. The money is still intact in the fundraising account for the two. Thank you.
But the document that is before us is the authentic document that you used to approve the expenditures?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to the tents. Tents in Londiani, 2945. Is that what you paid?
The tent for Supertrix.
Yes.
The tents for 2.9.
Yes. Maybe Chairman Kidogo.
Yes.
So a little bit interjection for Chairman. From your statement, the statement that you handed over to the committee,
yes,
seems the balances. I don't know whether I'm right. I'm seeing the balances there is 4 million. Or no. There is something I wanted to confirm to you.
Yes.
I don't know whether those ones.
Yes, as per what my is saying.
The balance of the account.
4 million.
Yes.
The balance is 4 million.
Yes, the balance of the account
and
is 4 million.
4.6. And you've said you have not paid the hospital.
Yes, we
and at the same time,
yes,
from the schedule, you paid 60,000 to 12, only 12 survivors is what you captured. That is what gave that amount. So it is clear you've not paid any coin to the hospital, yes.
Yes.
But you see the projection for the hospital for that case is 2 million and 37,534. What of the other one for Londiani? Londiani is 1,534,000. And can you add the two?
3,573,634.
Yes.
And assuming, have you paid maybe as per the schedule now? As per the schedule, which other one have you paid apart from, you say you've not paid to the hospital?
So
where else have you paid it to?
Allow me to confirm the
payment. No,
yes.
Since you are here and you are the one dispersing. Yes. Sawa.
Okay.
Maybe.
So, can I?
But my own observation, maybe that's the reason I've interjected. I'm seeing a balance of 4 million, and I'm seeing it's almost now, according to your projection, it's like the hospital will take everything. Yet, you have so many survivors left behind,
yes,
who have not been identified. Anyway, let me allow chairman first. Maybe he moves, then
I'm noting your concern.
So, members, I was requesting that we go expenditure by expenditure.
Yes,
please.
a rejoinder.
Yes.
I think Chairman, County Secretary Dr. Bor,
Yes.
also in providing the soft copy and hard copy of the bank statement, I think should be accompanied by the bank checkbook.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you. We are transparent. We'll provide that. Thank you.
Okay. Members, what I was requesting is that we go expenditure by the So we are now in tens in Londiani.
Yes.
So maybe if CS can confirm that this amount was paid.
Yes, I want to confirm that we were able to pay for the tent.
And we were able to get the check numbers.
You will be able to get it. Actually, it was an
So,
RTGS.
Are you going to confirm to this committee that this statement is the correct, authentic statement from Equity Bank?
Yes.
This document?
Yes. That's why I was under oath, Chair.
So from this document on 21st, you paid through RTGS?
Yes.
To Supertrix, 2,945,000. So you're confirming that?
Yes, I confirm as by the statement.
So what about tents at Ray's Hotel, 411,000?
Okay, the same was paid.
Was paid.
Yes.
Are you able to trace in this statement?
Yes, if given time, I would also be able to trace. But
Yes.
allow me also that at least the financial matters will be handled by finance department. But at least as a chair, allow me to confirm so that the details, we leave it to the relevant department.
Okay,
Thank you.
because I'm saying that because if you can scan the debit side, members, if you can scan the debit side, there is no place that 411 million was withdrawn. 411,000 was withdrawn.
It is there.
On 24th.
Yes.
On 24th? The last line, 24th. Which page? Maybe I don't have that page. Oh yeah, the last line, yes. Or which is covered by those tiny wordings. Okay, so that one can be confirmed. Lunches for 100 people, 100,000. Is this that was withdrawn by OT? Can you confirm?
Okay.
Is that what on 21st 100,000 was withdrawn by OT? Are you able to confirm to these members that that is the mandate meant for lunches for 100 people?
Yes, I can confirm, though we also agree that the finance will give the details. But I would confirm properly for the expenditures that have not been paid, that has come to me as a chair, is one, we have Kericho County Referral Hospital. We have Londiani that has not been paid. We also have County Commissioner that is indicated there. I want to confirm on record that they were also not paid. The proposed 300. Where?
Yeah, so maybe I wanted us to go one by one.
Okay.
Expenditure per expenditure.
Expenditure.
So under transport, refreshment, printing, CS, to make confirm
Yes.
100,000 for transport, refreshment, printing, and etc.
Yes, you can
So that one
confirm.
423, that one can also be confirmed. It was
Yes.
withdrawn by Fernandez, Korir,
Yes.
and then fuel and meal allowance for the team, especially the county commissioner. So here there is 300,000 that was also withdrawn by Fernandez.
So
And
from
there
the
is-
documents that I have, and allow me to clarify, Chair, that there was a lot of consultation that was happening even after doing the minutes, and we will be able to table the evidence of the consultation. So you will find that the amount that had previously been proposed by the committee, and I speak this as a chair, was actually reallocated to support the motorbikes, because when we gave a proposal to our procurement team to give us the quotation, allow me to clear this, Chair, so that as we go, allow me to clear, Chair, that when we asked our procurement team to actually get us the quotation for the motorbikes, we realized that a good motorbike that would have benefited the victim was actually going close to 200. That is why there was a reallocation of what had been that had been proposed by the members for county commissioner to actually go into the motorbikes so that they can get a quality motorbike. So I wanted to confirm the item on that county commissioners. Thank you.
So 300, you're suggesting that this 300, the withdrawn 300 was taken to pay for damages of motorbikes?
Not paying for damages of motorbikes, but acquiring new motorbikes, Chair.
Acquiring new motorbikes.
New motorbikes, 3 motorbikes. Acquiring 3 motorbikes for these teams. It was approximated from our procurement team.
Understood, yes.
Yes.
But now, so in short, this 300 was withdrawn. The first 300 that was meant for county commission.
Yes, from the statement it was withdrawn and reallocated to motorbikes.
Okay. So there is another 300 also that was also withdrawn by OT. What was it also for motorbikes?
It was for motorbikes because we did approximate from our procurement team that it's going for around 600 at an approximate cost of 200.
So
but what we agreed as a committee and for record is that if the procurement team gives us a motorbike at around 190, any balance actually goes back to the kitty. Thank you.
So the 300 for Fernandez, withdrawn by Fernandez and withdrawn for Leonardo T, which makes it 600,000
for motorbikes.
Went to motorbikes.
Thank you.
So members, expenditure number last one, and the third last is already captured, the bank statement. So we can go now to the affected persons. Maybe that is where there is a lot of interest. Yes, Mheshimiwa.
It's 600.
600. Buying how many motorbikes?
3.
3 motorbikes.
3 motorbikes.
Were used to buy cash or?
No, the motorbikes will be delivered to them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually being sourced.
So it's not 300 as was indicated.
It is being sourced through our procurement. It's not 300 as indicated because we reprioritize what would have gone to county commissioner. But we also know that as CC Finance comes in, because they are the custodians, they'll also be able to tell us at least and confirm to us, but I've confirmed as chair that we have 600 available. That's for record for motorbikes. Thank you.
Okay, Chairman, just a rejoinder. I want to know, the withdrawal was made on 21st and 21st. The 2 withdrawals, that is 300, that's 600. But I thought that you could have come here with a statement showing that you are depositing the money back to the account. Where is this money now?
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Yeah, proceed, yes.
Can I proceed?
Chairman, I want to humbly request that the CSB added some more water. I can see the water is already...
You know, these are very hot seats, Chair.
Of course.
You should be giving us sometimes as executive opportunity to be appearing more frequently so that we get used to also this.
So,
Honorable Matthew. Okay, thank you.
So, yes.
Okay, so my question was, Chairman, Mheshimiwa Albert, if that they did a withdrawal of 600,000, we could have seen the same withdrawal being redeposited back to the account because it has not meant for giving to the county commissioner now. And you are now using the procurement method to procure borders. Why is it that the said amount of 600,000 is not being seen? Hatuoni hapa saa hii tukiongea. Tungekuwa tunaona kwa statement, tungejua iko.
But it is in the statement. When you look at the statement, the withdrawals were done.
Yes.
When you look at the statement, the withdrawals were done. That was on, I think, as
21st.
clearly captured on 21st.
Yes.
And I also mentioned, honorable members, that there was a reprioritization of what had earlier been proposed for the county commissioner. And
but county secretary,
when we'll provide
to clear
the documentation,
maybe can you allow me, Chairman? Can you allow me to say something?
Reprioritization.
So, Mheshimiwa, CS, what Mheshimiwa Matthew is saying is that yes, 600 was withdrawn.
Yes.
And it is meant for bottom
yes.
guys. So what he's saying is that if now you lose the procurement way, so it means this 600 should have been credited back, so that at least when you are doing procurement, the money is saved in the account. So now that the money, if you can scan this document, 600 has not gone back to the account. So yes. Mheshimiwa is saying that 600,000 now is in the hand as cash. So will border be bought in cash or through procurement? If it is procurement,
okay. So
how is that going to happen? Because the money is already in the hands.
Thank you for that. And you see this.
When you say you want to use the county procurement team to procure border,
yes.
Yet you have the cash. What you could have done is just to go to either per charge, pay, and release the border. Why do you want to use procurement method? Which kind of procurement method will you use to show that you want to show, in other means, you want to defend the 300,000 that was meant to the county commissioner. That is what you are doing. You are trying to do, Mr. County Secretary.
Thank you for that.
Maybe in addition to that, so that you answer all.
Yes.
One is: are you going to apply the procurement method in these other the border only, or you use those procurement when paying those other services that the county government paid for these contractors? Okay. Why this border alone?
Okay.
Because I was just like what the Honorable Matthew said. Now we have the money, Mr. County Secretary.
Yes.
Already you have withdrawn the money, 600.
Yes.
I know maybe they are in the pockets of people because it is not in the account. The money has already been withdrawn from the account.
Mm.
Then I think it is always fair that the guy that lost a border, you just go to one of these outlets, borders. Then you just buy one. You buy one. In fact, the cost when you buy cash is not even the 200. In fact, you buy one at 130,000. One very good border. I also operate a border business. So subjecting these hustlers to another procurement method.
Okay, maybe I will clarify the use of the word procurement.
Maybe additional.
Allow me
then
to clarify.
It will be the same, eh?
Yes.
You've also confirmed to this committee that indeed Supershine Limited, thence at Race Hotel, you paid directly 411, lunches 400, you paid, transport, refreshments, printing, etc. 423 that were withdrawn, and you've already paid. Don't you think you are applying double standards? When it comes to border, you want to engage procurement method. When on the others, you paid directly. Or can we say, if you will allow that this committee to conclude in their own way, that actually when you see like Race Hotel is a very big hotel. When you see these other companies, they are very big. But when it comes to border, a hustler that was anchored in this Kenya Kwanza thing, when you see now the way you are taking around these border people only, yet the big companies, you just pay directly without engaging procurement process.
Yes, allow me to mention two things, Chair. Very quickly, I'll mention two things. Number one is that during my earlier submission, I indicated that we have not identified the beneficiaries of border. I think I'm in record mentioning that we have not identified the beneficiaries of the border. Okay, one, I referred you to the minutes that Honorable Cherorot also informed the meeting that there were 3 motorbikes affected and 1 business. I wanted to refer to the minutes before the expenditure.
Let us not even refer the county secretary.
Yes, and then
it means before you went to the bank. You see, you cannot go to the bank withdraw the money, then you move now to start identifying. You see, the minutes came earlier before this.
Yes.
And Chero wrote from here had not identified those people.
No.
Then we went ahead
I wanted to
and withdraw. You've already withdrawn the money. You have it in your pockets, and you've not identified even the person. You've not even identified whether the border borders are 3. It was just by hearsay. I think the first thing you were supposed to identify, just the same way you identified the victims, you could have identified border. After identifying now is when you will come to withdraw the cash. But you're not withdrawing the cash. You move around with the cash when it is in the pockets. We are not sure whether it is still in the pockets. You want to identify now the people.
Okay. Through the protection of the chair, allow me to answer, because I know we have question from Honorable Albert, question from Honorable Matthew, and a question from Honorable Philip Rono, so that at least I make a clarification and put this matter straight. Number one, when you look at the minutes, we were informed that there were 3 motorbikes that were affected, and we want to appreciate the presence then of the Honorable Member Jerorot, who is captured there. We did agree. We did agree that we wanted to put this matter to rest. And when I mentioned procurement earlier, the purpose of us engaging procurement was not to get through, and I know Honorable Lenny will also be able to put in that, because procurement department is under finance. It was only for procurement to give us the description so that we get value for what we are buying. Because as a county secretary, I know Honorable Beth is privileged that he owns a border. He may be able to understand at least the quality that we needed. So ours engaging was not necessarily that we were going to subject the hustlers through a procurement process. They were to give us a position description, the quality that we are going, the market price that we are using. We do the payments because we do not have. I would want to confirm that as a county, as part of the services, we do not have any vendor that we under framework contract or are pre-qualified in terms of border. So we were seeking just technical advice as a team, and those are the documents that will be actually tabled by finance so that we can put this case to rest. But we want to also confirm, there was a question by
confirm to us whether that you have the ongoing framework contract for tents and chairs, because at the moment we know that there is no contract framework contract for tents and chairs. Kindly, can you confirm to this committee whether that we have the ongoing framework contract for tents, chairs, even and hospitality hotels? You can confirm to us so that you can tell us how you arrived to raise and how you arrived to Supertex. Okay,
thank you. That is a finance question as a county secretary, but allow me to table
Chairman, is it possible for the county secretary also to just distance yourself about the county matters, because we are discussing issues fundraising.
Yes, you've asked Honorable Member. Yes.
Okay. Apart from the county secretary, you were chairing the meeting. So I don't think that you are answering in the capacity of a county secretary, but you are answering as the chair of that committee.
Thank you.
Yes.
I want to table the list of pre-qualified vendors to answer the question of the honorable members.
Okay. Thank you. So
I was only talking about finance in terms of their technical competencies in procurement matters. We have the list that I also got through our office today.
Okay, thank you. Yes. So members, members, as I was requesting that we conclude on expenditures, then after that we will go to other, for example, statement, speech. So maybe The next one is the issue of affected persons. So affected persons, from the expenditure report, you paid 53 fatalities. Is that so? Is that so? 53?
And expenditure, sir.
Yes. You paid 53 fatalities, sir.
Let me confirm.
And there is something
confirm?
we jumped, Honorable, but together with the county secretary, there is something we jumped up there along the tents that were paid to Supertrix.
Yes.
You see, in the next page, there is a note that was written by Alphonse from Edgar to it, Chief of Staff, to Alphonse Kipkurui Rotich, CEO, Executive Office of the Governor, that was saying request for supply and delivery of items for county government function, that was requesting. In the first note, it was noted and approved that CEO Finance kindly consider paying them under emergency. And then on note number 2, they say after consultation, it was decisively, it was agreed to be paid under the fundraiser kit. And it seems in your meeting you had a discussion and had a very good fashion that you pay all this under the emergency. All of a sudden, on note number 2 in the same document, it is saying after consultation it was agreed that you pay under the fundraising kit. You'll also inform the committee how you went round, you consult until you decide to pay under the fundraiser kit. I think it is the same.
Thank you.
In that connection, maybe, have you gotten that letter? Yes, so that we read from the same script.
Yes, it's this one.
The letter that was written by Edgar to Alphonse.
To
Alphonse.
Yes, but I have it. I can remember the letter.
Okay.
Yes,
so
I can remember the
in
letter.
that connection, what the majority leader said, Alphonse approved and requested CEO Finance. So we were expecting that maybe a note for CEO Finance should be somewhere in that document.
Yes.
But there is none. Instead, the same CEO came on date 19 and said that what Mheshimiwa majority leader has read.
Okay.
So what is your statement on that?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Allow me to address the issue of the letter that was mentioned. Is that during the consultation, the initial thought of the committee was that it was going to be paid through emergency fund. And I can confirm from the minutes that there was that discussion from emergency fund. Number 2, when we look at the County Government Act on Emergency Fund that I will be able to table, is that the fundraiser then is not legally, the fundraiser then, you see, the fundraising was happening on 4th. The actual accident occurred on 30th. Yes. So the fundraiser was happening on 4th. So when you look at the use of emergency fund, you use it for something that is not legally within the budget. That is why the tent at that time was not qualifying as an emergency fund support, because the fundraiser was not a threat to life. Yes, and I know the CC Finance will be able to elaborate during that time.
Okay.
However,
Yes, Chair. Let's through the chair.
Yes.
Can you, Daktari, can you make a clarity?
Yes.
You are saying it will not threat to life.
Yes.
And already you've lost lives. What do you mean? You see, you don't don't speak English to cover up this. It was not threat to life and people have lost their life. Actually, to be sincere, why don't you use the same term?
Yeah,
Yes.
to add on, that issue of tent is very interesting.
Yes.
Because maybe during planning, you must have planned very well for that occasion. In my view, if the issue was tent and the costing of tent, even within Londiani, there are so many tents that can be, if we could have involved even us. But you see, the question is, suppose the fundraising would have raised 1 million, Daktari, as a chair.
Yes.
Then does it mean that we are going to ask the brief to pay for the extra? Who will have paid for the rest? Where could you get the money to pay if we could have raised 1 million? Oh, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Bwana Daktari,
Yes, yes.
I think, you know, that is a very good question.
Yes.
From the honorable member representing those people.
Yes.
Suppose that the fundraiser, what was, and that is the first question that I had asked you. What was the real issue here? Why was this fundraising done? What was the objective of the fundraising? From the word go, why did you decide on 4th of July that we are going to do a fundraising? What was the objective? I think the broad objective of that fundraising was to assist the victims, the bereaved families, and those ones who are in hospital. I think that was the objective of this fundraising. Then, I also want to ask, all these decisions that you decide as a committee being chaired by yourself, do you involve the governor in some of these decisions? Because what the governor is saying is quite different from what you are saying. Because the governor was very categorical that all the hospital bills, up to including the mortuary fees, will be waived and will be taken care of by the county government. That is what is in press, and that is what the governor has stood by that one. Now, here you are a committee, you start as a committee, and you approve payments that the governor had already said, in fact, in the press that the government gave the other day. The governor was very clear that there is no payment that would be done for tents, for hospitals, and that is, we are following what the governor said. But here, you start and approve payment of 2.9 million for a tent. You said the fundraising was done on 4th of July, and the accident took place on 30th. So the tent was not brought to life, and that is why you decided to pay. As a county, I have not seen the list of pre-qualified service providers. I don't know, because I mean, supply of these tents and food and catering, you normally have pre-qualified suppliers. So why didn't you, if in that list we have those who can provide such services, why don't you get them supply these services, then they wait for payment like the normal procedure? You know, there are people who host you a lot of money because they are providing such services. Why did you decide to rob the victims' money of 2.9 million and pay for these tents, while the governor is very clear? You know.
Okay. I had a question about race, Chairman.
Just a minute.
Chairman, on this issue of race, let me ask a question. Because I see there are tents also at race of 411. Now, maybe you can explain very clearly. Because you were in the planning team and you were actually budgeting and approving. Who are these very special people who came to raise to spend 411,000 and eat another lunch of 100,000 when we had hotels in Londiani it's costing 20 shillings to eat?
Okay, thank you.
So members,
The question, Chairman,
yes, as I start.
I'll allow the CS to answer the question also on when you make some of these decisions as a committee being led by you as the chair, does the governor get briefs? Because what the governor is saying is different from what you as a chair and your committee is doing. The governor is saying waive everything, and that is where we are, all of us. But your committee is deciding that we are paying. Is it a conduit? Is your committee a conduit of siphoning this money meant for the Londiani victims? Because I don't understand. Even in the press that the governor gave, he was very clear.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Members,
Maybe before Honorable Albert proceeds, I wish to remind ourselves that it's already 5:02. It's now 5:02. It's now 5:02. I wish we could streamline our questions. We could streamline our presentations to be in tandem with the time, so that we give a chance. We give a chance to Daktari to answer the questions and then proceed.
I wanted that expenditures first.
Before that is, we are clearing the expenditures as it is. The purpose, I wish to remind ourselves that the purpose of the Arambe was for the victims that lost their loved ones and also those who got injured, the survivors. What is on record, Daktari, is we dispersed 5,790,000 to the victims out of 14 million. So 9 million, an approximate of 9 million went to the expenditure. And from your record on the statement, if you're telling us you have not paid,
I think I'll be able to clarify, because some of the payments we have not. Once I'm given an opportunity to explain from the previous questions, then it will clear some of the anticipated questions. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Kindly proceed.
Thank you. Proceeding with the protection of the chair, the first question that was asked is, why couldn't we use this emergency kitty to actually pay for the tent? And I'll be tabling Honorable Chair, the Kenya Gazette supplement the act on expenditure for emergency, and the 7.1 says that when there is an urgent and unforeseen need for the expenditure for which there is no legislative authority. That is when you use emergency fund. When there is an urgent and unforeseen need for the expenditure for which there is no legislative authority. Honorable
Which is very clear, sir.
Yes.
I just wanted to confirm to you that the accident was unforeseen.
I wanted to
planned. It was even more than the word emergency itself.
I wanted to mention something. Why I was saying that there is no legislative authority is because we have the Department of Disaster Management, where we appropriate funds. But at that time, that's I was explaining, kindly explaining that at that time, it was the end of a financial year, that was 30th June. The IFMI system had already closed down, and it's not even open as we talk. And therefore it was difficult for us to be able to subject this to the county. But these are the things that finance will also be able to anticipate and weigh in, being a financial decision. And when you saw the letter, it was actually marked to finance, and the honorable member will be coming. Then number two.
Yes. There's an issue of emergency. There is an account, special purpose account, and it only needs a check. So there is no big deal there.
Okay, Chairman.
So,
and that is why I was requesting, Chair, through your protection, that we have a Department of Finance that will be able to speak on matters, the emergency fund, as head of Treasury.
Okay, Chairman.
As head of Treasury.
We can give the county secretary a very good example. When you take over the office, you remember signing a voucher for Rins Company Limited that I supplied tents to a funeral of the staff called Timothy Kemei during it was closing of financial year 2018. But it is only you that the other day you intervened so that I was being paid. Kindly confirm to us how was the emergency to pay Supertex?
Since it is an aspersion that I approved, it's good that the document be tabled so that at least I'm able to confirm what Honorable Matthew is saying, so that at least we can be able to actually focus on the documents that we have now.
Members.
Through the chair.
But CS, you see, the CCM for Finance was a member of your committee from the minutes here.
And
you seem not to have been consulting, or you took it by yourself, because these are members of your committee. Is in fact the CCM for Finance and Economic Planning,
And
who understands what it means.
Yes.
The account for emergency is a member to your committee, the committee that you chaired. Or these people, this CC become rude to a level it didn't want maybe to support you with the information that it was quite possible to pay the same supplier with the emergency fund.
And that is why I mentioned.
So when you say the CC will come in and you were seated with the same CC in the same committee, don't you see you are taking us back on account the secretary?
I have explained,
Yes.
Chair.
Members, can we proceed? For your information, yes,
yes.
emergency, they use checks. So can we raise that case there, members, so that I proceed with
There was a
expenditures?
question
We
I-
wish, the chair wishes to give directions. Thank you so much, Dr. Bor, for your presentation and submissions. We have done some part of expenditure, and it seems some of the questions revolved around the finance department.
But what I wanted to mention, Chair, through your permission, allow me to mention around 3 things through your permission. Number 1 is referencing the governor's press conference that happened on Wednesday, and I wanted to make this for record that there was waiver of bills, and I know that this is a confirmation that we say that we'll be able to table the documentation. There was waiver of bills, and the governor also on Wednesday was able to waive the special treatment that will be required by the teams, and therefore no money has been paid to health. And I want to confirm also that further to the direction of His Excellency the Governor, we will be able to reimburse as county government the 2.9 million, and also the payment that had gone to IFMIS this coming week once the systems are open, and we hope to do a conclusion of the expenditure and all other expenses that was waived by the governor, so that at the end of the day, whatever was collected goes to the victims as it is. That is what I wanted to confirm,
Daktari,
based on the direction of the
Daktari, as you
governor.
present, do you still have some money as in cash at hand?
The confirmation is the only money that is there cash at hand was actually for the motorbikes, and I
That is
confirmed.
600,000.
Eh? That is the
600,000.
600,000.
Plus what is in the bank, that is 4.6.
Yes,
It makes 5.2.
2 million, yes. And we have been directed, because we work under guidance and the direction, that the same amount, together with what the governor gave us a direction, will actually be getting to the victims on Wednesday next week.
Chairman,
Thank you, Chair.
Chairman,
That's what
County
I wanted to
Secretary is
give
telling
us.
the committee you are working under direction and guidance from the governor. Is it true? You have mentioned that you are working under direction
I
and
say-
guidance from the
I
governor,
say guidance,
meaning that the
guidance.
governor also directed you to pay 2.9.
Okay. A quick
Members.
question, a quick clarification. When I presented the organogram, Chair, as a county secretary, I report to His Excellency the Governor. As a county secretary, I report to His Excellency the Governor, and it is my responsibility every other time to consult and also get direction. And we are happy that through the direction and the opening up of the IFMIS this week, we will be able to do the phase 2 and the final payments to the victims. Thank you.
But the question is very clear, County Secretary. You are waiting for the IFMIS to be open. Yet we had money raised for the purpose of for the victims. Do you mean we have another budget from our development funds, from other kit, to pay the victims, yet you have misappropriated 2.9 plus other money? County Secretary, kindly clear there, and the chairman, here you need to stand firm. The County Secretary to tell us, what are you waiting for the IFMIS, yet we had money?
Okay, thank you. I can take another
Which
question.
vote will you use to refund 2.9 that you paid to Supertex?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. One last one, County Secretary. I think I had asked this, and unfortunately, at that time, you had a lot of questions in your desk.
Yes.
And you didn't manage to answer this.
Thank you.
Number one question, County Secretary. On 3rd August, today is 4th, 3rd August,
yes,
we received structures of payments from the county government referral hospital, the Kericho County Referral Hospital, for various patients that was forwarded by Davis Sang, hospital accountant. The bill for one David Mwangi Kitata is 68,960. And in your attachment, maybe I don't want you to get interruption here now.
yes,
What projected to make 1.8 million, 1,880,336? What is captured there? On 17 July, and you can imagine, on the Bajariat bit, I want you to consult in low tones and hear this. On 3rd August 2023, the bill of David Mwangi Kitata is 68,960 on discharge. While on 17th July, while you are compiling now and doing the structure and structure for payments, the bill for one Daniel Mwangi Kitata at 17 July, back there, it was 172,362. Number two, patient one Mary Njeri Njenga. As at yesterday, the bill was standing at 78,410. And on 17 July, when you are preparing to pay this payment schedule, the one for Mary Njeri Njenga was 120,705. The same Mercy Chepkoech Ruto, the bill as at yesterday was actually 26,000, you had 9,000. And for the same Mercy Chepkoech Ruto, as at 17 of July, the bill was 38,829. One final one, and may the soul of this nurse rest in peace. One Mercy Jelangat that was brought to County Referral Hospital and died after only pronouncing her name as the casualty. The bill that we've been submitted by the County Referral Hospital as at yesterday is 11,900. You had the mortuary fee of 4,000. But in this, on 17th of July 2023, in your documents, as you are preparing for these schedules, the bill was standing at 41,900. The person that forwarded to you the same documents for compilation and come up with the payment schedule is one Mr. Davis Sang. That is the hospital accountant. And this one that we've been forwarded yesterday is the same Davis Sang, hospital accountant. Can you, what do you have to say about this, the county secretary? Even if you've said the governor is keen on waiving all these bills, don't you think that we have very incompetent accountants that on 17th
they forwarded you a bill of a patient amounting to 170,000, and yesterday, they forwarded the same document, the same hospital bill of the same patient of 68,000.
Okay.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Chairman.
In relation to this, Chair, it's so shocking that in the same way we still have patients, and I want to ask you, County Secretary, if you are aware through any other means, because I know we are concerned about those people who are still injured.
Yes.
That we still have, as per 3rd August, let me not mention names, but we have 3 patients still awaiting implants. Meaning, from the time they were injured up to yesterday, that is around yesterday, yes, they have not been attended to. Again, in relation to that, are you aware that there are patients who are using their own pocket money to buy drugs, and up to now they have spent up to 60,000 to buy their own drugs in the hospital?
Members, because some of these things we will be making decisions later, can we proceed? Humble request. Yes. Okay. Are you going to be brief? But you're going to be brief, yes. And don't forget.
Yeah,
and don't
thank
forget
you so
that
much.
question. Don't forget that question from Chariot Bets.
Order.
So that I proceed with the last.
I had something, Chairman, to the CS previously, that as they do all these things, were they consulting the governor? Because he hasn't answered that question. As they do all these things, because the governor has always been very vocal. When he was during the fundraising, he also said that all these things will be waived and the county government will take care of most of the things. Even during the fundraising, even during the fundraising. That is what the governor said. Now the CS is telling us that they are planning on how they will now refund. Take, for example, Chairman Moses, someone has been paid 2.9 for supply of tents. 2.9. And the governor in this press has said that even those ones, tents will not be paid. But the committee has paid already 2.9. How are you going to get the money from the contractor back to the county? And yet the governor was very clear, even during the fundraising, that we are going to take care of most of these things. The CS has provided us with a list of those who have been, the contractors that are supposed to supply services here. I have seen some of them, they were supposed to provide tents. Why should they rush and use the money meant for the victims to pay for the services that will have otherwise been paid even after 3 months when the money is there, Chairman? So I just want to know whether the governor is aware. Do they consult the governor in doing all these things, or the governor is in the dark? Because what the governor is saying is different from what the chair for the committee is saying. So I need that because we need to clear the air also.
Okay, Chairman, in line to that again is that let me just inquire from the CS whether they really adhere to what the governor says. Because if the governor says we are waiving pills, you have also said chairing a committee on the money from the fundraising. You are appropriating money again to pay bills in Londiani and Kericho. Yet the governor said the waivers will be made to the victims. What was that intention? Please.
Thank you so much, honorable members. I don't wish that we take other questions.
Final one.
Kindly.
Final one.
Let's give CS a chance to respond.
This is a final one.
Kindly let's give
speech.
CS a chance to respond. We are almost closing up. We will close up the questions on the speech.
Yes. Okay.
What is it on the expenditure, Albert? Mheshimiwa Albert.
Fatalities. Okay, thank you so much. So CS, so that you also respond in this one. From your document, especially on expenditures, you are saying that you paid 90,000 to 53 fatalities. But from the statement, I have counted the 90,000. The beneficiaries are only 48. as per this document. And then on 60,000, the survivors, beneficiaries are only 7. So what is your statement on that? 7 out of 24. And here you said you have only paid 7 out of 24. And you have paid 47 out of 53.
You're referring to which document?
The statement. Plus the expenditures.
The statement plus expenditures. Okay,
yes.
Thank you.
I think that is the last one. And maybe, yes.
Now, our county secretary, the issue of there is a press release that you made to the public. It is not dated. I cannot see the date, but I believe you said you own this document. You communicated to the public that 24 survivors have gotten 60,000 from the county kitty. You see, that is information that went to the public,
yes,
who are actually very eager to know. But you see, in your approval and in the bank statement are different things that is not in relation to what you communicated. Maybe that to me is very serious, because you see, what the public knows and what is in the documents and in reality are two different things. Kindly elaborate on that, because it's very important for me to know. Conveying, you see, in the Article 235, you said conveying decisions. Could these be the decisions that were made? And what is the relation with the reality?
Okay.
Thank you, County
Thank you,
Secretary. Kindly proceed.
I have noted several questions. In case I miss any, you can alert me, Chair.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So let me begin by the communication, and I'll be tabling the document that I have signed on, that is dated second, and the document has the payments that have been made so far, including the ID numbers and the signatures of the recipients, so that at least it can clarify the number of beneficiaries. So we have the document here. I will also be tabling, the Chair. I know from the minutes of 18 that there are some team that we had not identified. I will also be tabling, Chair, 8 checks that have already been processed and dispersed for the committee members to be able to know. What I mentioned earlier is the process of identification is normally not easy. I may not be able to have data for national government, but what I want to confirm is that they are also still identifying the beneficiaries.
Yes.
So I will be able to table the data for our consideration.
I want to urge, let me urge our honorable members that we have one session of the meeting. Honorable members, I want us to give time to the CS so that we will not take him back to respond to questions. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Proceed.
So I've confirmed that the process of identification of beneficiaries is ongoing, because even as we talk, Chair, there are those that were also missed totally from the records in Londiani and Kericho that have also come out. Almost, I think there are about 6 that we are also still in the process of verifying whether they were actually at the site of the accident. So those are the things. But for the record that we have 53 and 24, I want to confirm that we have already done the checks, and I will be able to table the evidence before end of this session. Then there was a question that was asked by Honorable Philip Rono. I was trying to remind myself regarding the list that was sent by our accountant Davis, and we noted some variations in terms of the billing of 3 patients that has been mentioned. It was all of them. You picked.
Maybe for your information, the patients are around 19.
They're around 19.
So I decided only to give you 3, but if you will ask me, I can give you all of them.
Okay. I had three much more.
And number 2, you said you've had challenge in identifying. I don't want you to take us back, because the national government identify those victims, pay them mara moja tu, but that's the county secretary.
The list we are using, Honorable.
No, but you see, they are the same victims. The same victims you are compensating are the same victims that were compensated by the national government. Now wamewapea 300,000 yao, wamewapea 200,000 yao. Sasa nyinyi mnataka ku-identify wengine wenye sio wale?
No, I am saying that for the team that has the correct documentation that was given to us by the county commissioner and was verified by the Ministry of Health, for record purposes, I want to mention that there were only 8 that had not picked their checks, and I will be able to tape all the copies of the checks because our team has already dispersed those. What we are dealing now are the new and emerging cases that they were also at the site of the accident. Then I did mention for record that once we get the actual beneficiaries for the motorbikes, it is something that we can be able to dispense and do it by Wednesday. Thank you, Chair. There was a question on consultation that I want to confirm that there was a question by Honorable Bate on consultation, and I want to mention clearly here that in emergencies and also in routine running of the government, consultation is there every other day. The challenges that we've had in making an emergency, this was a magnitude that we lost 53 lives, and I will be appealing to the members of the county assembly that even to streamline and make things very clear when it comes to the handling of donation monies that are supported by the county, we will be presenting a bill that will guide the terms of references, because when it comes to donation money, it is a committee that was deciding on appropriation because we do not have a guideline, because we've never had an emergency of that magnitude, because it was affecting both national and also county. And as a county government, the accident happened on Friday. The confirmation of a fundraising was done on Sunday afternoon. So the team that is why the leadership joined the county at 2 p.m. on Monday, because reconstituting a team was not very easy, at the same time sustaining the rescue operation. So, Chair, I will be making an appeal that we also work on guidelines that will protect the public money also in future, and that gives a stipulation on who is the composition to ensure that everyone on board is represented. What we noted, Chair,
as you present, Chair, the question from the Honorable Cheriot Bate, how often do you consult? Did you brief His Excellency the Governor on the happenings, on matters expenditure?
yes.
Going by the governor's press, I think the governor is not even aware that you have already paid the 2.9 for tents. Going by what the governor was saying, he's not aware that you have already paid the tents. Because the governor is saying, I'm saying as a governor, there is no money that will be paid for tents. But going by your records here, when was the tents paid? 21st. The governor gave a press, I think, 3 days ago. So the governor, you don't brief the governor, because the governor is talking differently, while the things on the ground speaks differently. And these are the facts, So the governor, from where I sit, does not have some of this information.
And how are you going to reimburse now? Is it through the same
the 2.5
through the
2.9 million that you paid? How are you going to reimburse so that you go as per what the governor said? Because if the governor knew that you have already paid, I don't think he will have included side things in his speech. You know, we are in a total mess. And then, Chairman, also, you know, the CS is saying that we need to work on our policies on, forming a committee in future so that we know who is going to be included. You know, Chairman, it's a matter of conscience. What was the objective of the fundraising? It was to assist the victims, not to assist the victims in procuring for a tent. It was to assist the families that were affected. You know, it's not giving the county commissioner 300,000 for fuel and refreshment.
But I confirm, Honorable Member Chiria, that we never paid the commissioner. In my earlier submission, so I wanted to confirm. Yes.
You confirm.
So, Chair.
Through the Chair, kindly ML. There is a letter that you wrote, which majority leader confirmed with you that you were the one writing the letter requesting for those requisitions. And you have allocated the money according to every line item. And maybe also the amount that you allocate to Referral Hospital, Kericho, and Londiani. What made you not to give the money? And yet it is under the premises of Kericho County. You have the accounts of this hospital, and you have quoted the figures that you are supposed to pay to this hospital. And maybe last one question. I had requested you that, did you agree in your committee that after the fundraising, the money will be deposited in the account that you deposited in?
Okay, sorry, I had forgotten that. So let me begin, because that's a question that I needed to have addressed earlier. One, when the leaders met on 2nd, I think the letter was written on 3rd of July, the members agreed, the leadership, that I'm going to table who are present in the meeting, and I will actually indicate their attendance in the meeting through the attendance signing of the visitor's book. I will be able to table that. We did agree in the meeting, one, to set a pay bill. Then number two, since the county has a donation account for fundraisers and any other donation, and this is an account that is subject to audit by the public, it was actually agreed, and as a county secretary, I did a letter to the service provider then, that is Safaricom, to give us a pay bill that was linked to the donation account. And I was able to present the statement of the same account, confirming the amount that was raised, both from the pay bill and also that was directly deposited. So it was agreed in a leadership meeting, not within the committee, but in the leadership meeting that happened on Monday at 2 p.m., where most of the leaders were present. Yes.
Chairman,
and I will be able to table
Chairman,
the leaders that were present in the meeting.
I think other leaders here have confirmed they attended the meeting. Okay, Chairman, if you can allow us, if you can allow me, there is a pastor facilitation fee of 100,000. Was that paid? 100,000.
Yes, we did support it, and we have a breakdown of how the pastor supported
Transport
the activity.
refund for 12 ward administrators, 2 sub-county administrators for 7 days, 98,000.
I think I would wish to clarify that, because I know that when we did the meeting on the funeral service on 4th, we needed to send the ward administrators each to the funerals that were being conducted.
Okay, so
that is how we facilitated them to attend the funeral, and that will be clarified by PSM too, because that's a document.
And then another thing is that
under PSM.
Anyway, Chairman, no, Matthew, Kidogo, additional on what you've said.
the same ward administrators have been conducted by this aid committee.
Yes.
Yes.
And they said the chief officer for public service management
Yes.
did call them to come and collect money. It's only that they asked the chief officer, maybe on a written memo, that you are dispersing us this money. Immediately, this alarm was raised to the public. So they feared to come and collect. Otherwise, they were called to come and collect.
But already they have in their phones.
No, we can allow the PSM to table that.
Chair, if you can allow me to go through this letter.
Let us allow the PSM.
I rejoin the chairman.
What are
Let
the
us
demands?
allow PSM team chair.
I have rejoined only.
Let us have order. Let us have order.
Let me finish up with this one. Chairman.
Let's Honorable Matthew finishes
Yes.
his part. Then we give to Honorable Eric B.
So.
Then we give to Honorable Dora in that order. Then we give to.
But let me finish up.
Rejoinder to.
Mheshimiwa.
If it is a rejoinder.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. You know, there was a question I initially asked, Chairman. You know, I'm very concerned, Chair. You know, we are also leaders in our own right. We interact with these people. You know, yes. Before we came here, although we are doing this investigation, Chairman, you know, we are also residents of this county. We get even further information. The reason why I ask you, Chair, that why did you pay the county commissioner 300? But the CS is saying they have not paid the county commissioner. But Chair, the information that I have, Chair, I know the county commissioner is going to sit here. Even the person who withdrew the money. You know, we get information from also your members that, you know, we were under pressure, we were coerced, you know. So I just want the CS to confirm to me whether the county commissioner was given 300 he was not paid, because the county commissioner will appear here, not as a county commissioner, he will appear here as a suspect. No, as a suspect first of all, because how can they take 300,000 belong to our people? You know, he will be or a witness. Yes. So I just want the CS to confirm whether they have paid the county commissioner 300,000 or not, because we have other information to that effect here.
Okay. Allow me to answer that, Chair.
Before you answer, you see, Daktari,
yes.
All these questions are very emotive, and you should be patient, wait to be asked, because you came. So I have rejoined on the same. You are confirming that pastors were given 100,000. I remember I came to a prayer service, memorial service, and there's a collection which was done to the pastors, offerings. They actually indicated that this is only for the pastors, and again you are coming up adding another 100,000. So number two, you see, in a normal circumstance whereby a ward administrator is being paid within the county government, and is a civil servant like you or like any other person. So meaning, if you are paying these ward administrators, meaning also you are paid the same amount, because if a ward administrator who has been sent for his normal duties to go and do their duties is being paid a stipend. So, Daktari, let's be sincere, very honest on this, and anything you are answering here, yes, that you did that, you see, you are just tying up yourself.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Daktari.
Yes.
Ningependa pia nikuelezee, kando na hii kamiti haimaanishi inabidi unatuambia ukweli sana. Hata wewe ndio umeconfirm kuna watu 53 walikufa. Umetukonfirmia 24 walijeruhiwa. Si sawa? Kumaanisha hata kama utatudanganya hapa, hauwezi danganya pengine, and I'm happy because you are the pastor.
Thank you.
Okay, field preparation ya Londiani. Field preparation, cleaning, grass cutting, and carpet collection. You paid 32,000.
Okay.
Okay, you paid 32,000. And keep in mind that we have a contractor doing carpet collection in Londiani. That can be done by Environment Department. Lunches and refreshment for the rescue team and administrators on site for 7 days. So you paid 125,000 on the same. And with this one, we might not need even to comment, because that is self-explanatory. Printing, publishing, and local radio announcement. I want to know, Daktari, what are you announcing in this manner? of 68,000, totaling 423,000. This one is justifying the withdrawal of Fernandez Korir on 21st, that is, Ali withdraw 423,000 from the bank. This one we are transferring that because the figures are the same. I'm just saying this one justifies the withdrawals. This is the letter from the PSM. So I want to know, Dr.
Can I confirm the document because that is a PSM document?
Okay, you can confirm. Betsy.
Yes.
It was actually a memo from CS Petsy, C. Crew, to Honorable Leonard Ngetich, CC Finance, and it is actually the Petsy C. Crew appended our signature down there, and you see the total amount is tallying to 423. That is reflecting what Fernandez Korir withdrew from the bank
on 21st.
On 21st.
Thank you.
So,
are you confirming that that transaction was meant to justify the memo from the PSM CEO? Because 1, we have for pastors, 2, we have for ward administrators, 3, we have for refreshment, and I think 68,000, I think, is for radio callers. I don't know, unless you tell us which radio station that you paid 68,000.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe.
Finally.
Thank you. Through the chair, my name is Hezron Ngetich. I'm a friend to this committee. I have around 3 questions. First, welcome Daktari to this committee. First, I want to receive clarification from you to know who was the requester of the fundraising. Was it the county? Was it the victim? I want you to clarify. Secondly, was the fundraising L for the county, to assist the county, or to assist the victims? To say so is because I've seen all the expenses which has been paid is for the county. So we want to know if the fundraising was being raised to assist the county to offset the bills which was incurred during the accident. Third, who invited the deputy president? Was it through his volition that he was coming to lead the fundraising? And if so, why did the county, or why did you decide to use the victims' money or the county money to pay for tents and podium for the State House? Because all function attended by the deputy president or the president is a presidential function, and that is beyond our mandate. So those are the few questions. If you'll answer, I'll get clear picture, because I'm not getting, because I'm mixed up, because unless I know who the fundraising was for county or for the victim, because if it was for the county, it is well and good to spend the way you want, because even the BADMs for the ward administrators and what have you is normal. But if it was for the victims, the ward administrators, you and all the county staffs are on duty. They could have claimed BADMs from their respective department because they are working for the interest of county and of the interest of the people. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Hezron. I wish that we give him a chance to respond to those questions. Kindly proceed, Dr.
Thank you. Chair, again, I have captured them down. In case I miss any, I will be able to get your guidance and also a reminder. Number 1 for record is that from the documents that I have tabled here this afternoon, I do not have any document that shows payment schedule that went to the county commissioner. From my end, I do not have any document. A payment, when I talk about a payment schedule, is a place where the county commissioner signed to indicate that they received the money. I did confirm, Chair. I did confirm through your protection, Chair, so that I can respond, is that we have all the monies that I have mentioned, and the committee will be available to verify.
You see, you are on record, the county secretary.
Yes.
The person who withdrew the money and other associates did confirm. So I don't want to, whatever you are not sure.
I have said that from records I have,
Letter from
I do
county
not have
commissioner.
a payment schedule that was signed by the county commission, and I'm also glad that he will be able to appear before this committee to also confirm whether he received any money. That's why I have spoken from the documents that I have, Chair, that I do not have a payment schedule. That is one. Then number two, we have a breakdown. Then I'll confirm
that note that you have.
You approved for payment.
Yes, you approved for payment
Geoffrey
for county
Mayek.
commission.
I endorsed this memo, just like what I mentioned initially.
Okay, now I'm asking, was there any other minutes now to say that the 300,000 shillings meant for the county commissioner has now gone to the border reimbursement for the damaged borders?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that clarification. I did mention that initially, just like the payment for Londiani County Hospital, the payment also for Kericho, and the payment for County Commissioner, we have not released any of those payments. And I said from the documents that I have in terms of payment schedules, I can say with authority that there is no money that was paid. If there was any money, Chair, I would have stapled the payment schedule, and would also be having, because a memo is an instruction, just like the way we did approve for Kericho, that we have not also paid. Thank you. Then a question by Honorable Esron, who requested the fundraiser. The fundraiser was done in consultation with the national, so it was a national disaster that everyone wanted to participate, because by the time it moved from the county to the national, then everyone wanted to participate in good faith in terms of assisting the victims. And therefore, the Deputy President came in as an invited guest, and it was not a national function, but it was actually a county function. And the bigger picture for organizing this was that so that when the national pays the 300, there will also be additional funds that will be coming from the county to ensure that this team is rehabilitated and they're actually brought back to life. That was the entire concept, because they had already been supported by the national. We were coming in to actually reinforce what the national government was doing, Mheshimiwa. And therefore, the cost of the tents was actually left to us as the organizing committee. It was left to us as the organizing committee.
So in short, you are doing a fundraising to facilitate the minor expenses encountered by the victims. So that's to supplement
what the national was doing. That is what I wanted to clarify.
Chair, before he continues, let me take you back, Bwana CS. Now, since these super tricks, where does this company come from?
Thank you for that question. From my desk as a chair, I see Supertrix as a service provider, so I do not have information beyond, not unless I'm given time, so that I can also seek clarification on that. Thank you.
Chair, the last one for me is only one question that will not require much, because Our CS, you took an oath today that everything that you say here is going to be true. Is it?
Yes, I still stand by the oath and also by the documents I tabled this afternoon.
Is this statement a true reflection of what you said?
The statement from the bank?
Yes.
Yes, I can confirm.
Okay.
That is an
The
authorized
minutes
document.
from 18th of July.
Yes.
Is it a true reflection of the deliberations? Is it yes or no?
The minutes for
18th.
18th.
Is it the true reflection of deliberations you made?
The deliberations that were made.
Is it yes or no? Only need one answer.
I wanted to ask from the leadership of the chair that
No,
I'm
no,
also allowed
it's me.
to
I'm
explain.
asking. These minutes. Is it the true deliberations that you made on that day?
Yes.
Yes or
I
no? Will you
confirm-
stand by it?
I confirm as the true deliberations that were made on the day, but I did also confirm, Chair, that
I only needed one. Yes or no? Only.
Yes, let me say the true deliberations.
No, I don't want explanations. Only yes or no.
Yes, I stand by the minutes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Honorable CS, maybe before Honorable Kemoy comes up, as we end up this session, on your press release.
Yes.
That is point number 3.
Point number 3.
I can read to you if you don't have a copy of the same. That for prudent use of resources,
yes,
a committee was formed and a pay bill established linked to the county donation. Then, Honorable CS, a question can be posed to you. Having looked at the expenditure, having looked at all the way where we came from to this point, was this fund drive kitty utilized prudently?
I would say, based on the wisdom of the committee at the time, as I confirmed that there were true deliberations, that was the best decision the committee had at that time, Chair, because one is that just like in any other fundraiser, the funeral expenses are normally met through the kitty, and therefore I also want to thank His Excellency the Governor for giving us the direction through the press conference that we will also be waiving the specialized treatment. Thank you.
Okay, through the chair, just for a clarification on the statement you gave us, the first page, there is the payment of Fernandez K. Korir worth 300,000, and on the same day, there is indication of another 300,000 going to Leonard Otil. Oti ama Hotel. Please clarify those ones because 300 and 300 and there is another for Fernandez that is on 21st again worth 423,000.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Matthew. Chairman, you see it's already 4 minutes to 6 and we still have another candidate. Maybe those remaining assignments, I believe the committee has now substantial information that will assist them in making their own judgment as they finalize everything. But a takeaway assignment, the county secretary,
yes,
is that on the same day that the accident occurred, Londiani Sub-County Hospital raised a bill of electricity amounting to 405,082 that day, and they spent fuel worth 718, and the total expenditure for Londiani Sub-County Hospital that they forwarded is 1,534,190. And Nakuru, that they took the patients that were in most critical conditions, and we visited them. In all those weeks, they've spent only a total of 366,820, our county secretary. So for our beloved county, don't we see that we have a lot of appetite, more so in consuming electricity? So just check at the electricity bill only for one day in Londiani Sub-County Hospital. That is a takeaway assignment. Because you are the county secretary now, I know you will be in a position to interact with these people. Kindly ask them to explain, because we will still go to Kenya Power. We will learn about the issues of this electricity bill. Is when we will know. I think we might even be forced to be generating our own power there, because it seems these people, they have a lot of appetite in consuming the electricity at the same center. Otherwise, Chairman, allow us, maybe we close today's meeting, because I think we have substantial information to guide this report in coming up with their conclusive reports, Chairman. Otherwise, thank you very much, County Secretary.
Thank you. Thank you.
To CS, kindly proceed. Once you are done with the last part of the question, give us your closing remarks. And thank you.
None. Okay, I am asking Chairman, who was representing the victims in the said committee in all these meetings and in all these disbursements that you are doing? Who was represented? Was the area MCA, even a single elected MCA from Londiani or Kipkelion sub-county, even nominated, was present in your meetings?
Okay.
If you don't mind, I think you can answer.
Yes. Also, don't forget that question from MCA from Kedao Kimugol, especially on the who is the owner of Supertex.
I was supposed to answer.
It's also a concern outside there.
I think I answered that. I know Supertex as a service provider, not unless I'm now given an opportunity to seek an inquiry through the relevant bodies, because I do not know Supertrick as individual.
So are you able to,
if I'm given authority to seek the owners through the relevant bodies, then I could be able to table it for recording purposes. Thank you. Then representation of the victims. One is that during the distribution of the checks, we had the area MCA when we distributed the checks, and he is also present here and he can confirm.
You picked the MCA when you were going to that venue, and the MCA, I think he was loitering around there. And
so
it was just by the way, and he can confirm.
He can confirm whether he was present during the distribution of the checks. But I'm glad that I was seated close to the honorable member. I was seated very close to him during the distribution of the checks.
Thank you so much, Chairman. Of course, I was called,
yes,
to witness the distribution of checks.
Yes.
But I wasn't called when the decision was being made.
Okay.
But also,
so you
if you can remember well,
yes,
when we were in Londiani, I just complained that I've never been involved in any
of the planning.
Yeah, in planning.
I think you still remember me complaining. You remember me complaining that
I'm trying to trigger my memory. I'm trying to trigger my memory, Mheshimiwa. So one of the things that I mentioned, I think this is a learning experience for us. I have to admit that it is a learning experience, and such forums of interactions are also opening up a lot of opportunities that we can be able to fix, especially in involvement at every stage. Thank you. The last question was from, I wanted to be reminded, the honorable member from Kisiara Ward. Yes, honorable member, remind me kindly, if you don't mind. You're okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, maybe the last one through the chair. Very simple question. A very simple question so that Mheshimiwa Diplo says something.
Yes.
So you are confirming to this committee that when IFMIS will be opened, of which I know it was opened last week, that you are going to reimburse money paid to service providers.
Yes, I confirm.
Because that was the statement from you.
I confirm us by the directive of His Excellency that we are going to reimburse.
Okay, so which means, God willing, if all goes well, you will
by
give victims 14 million 589,624 by God's will. Victims will receive 14 million 589,624. If maybe that money will be reimbursed.
Actually, it will be reimbursed because it was a directive that was given to the committee.
Okay.
And as a chair of the committee, I want to confirm that I will do a follow-up.
Okay. Do you have any reimbursement plan? For example, what has gone to Matrix? How will you reimburse that one? Is it through the same company?
Our financial team is working on the plan, then they will be able to table to us in our next meeting tomorrow.
Okay, so are you able to submit now the reimbursement plan to us?
Yes.
Tomorrow. Can confirm
Let
to
me
this
say
committee?
by Monday.
By Monday?
Yes, because the team is meeting tomorrow to look at the reimbursement plan. Then we can be able to table it by Monday in the course of next week. Yes, not later than Wednesday.
Okay.
Because that's the timelines that we have been given. Thank you.
14,589,624. So another
Yes,
question also
so
that
the reimbursement plan
yes,
will now have the details, the financial details.
589,624. 624. Yes. As per the documents in Londiani 77. Yes. So yes, maybe they will give us the.
We will give you the reimbursement plan
Another,
so that it will contain the details of how the reimbursement, if honorable member is confirming that the IFMIS is open.
Yeah, from last week.
As long as the IFMIS is open,
so another thing,
the government will do a reimbursement.
Another thing, yes. Are you confirming to this committee that these 2,037,524 that was meant to be taken to district hospital will no longer go there, but instead it will go to the victims?
Yes, all the expenses that as by the direction of His Excellency will be going back to the victims.
Okay, what will happen now to those who are still in hospital and they are still buying drugs? So how are you going to mediate that?
I think it will be captured also in the reimbursement plan because we will be able to discuss detail. We currently have 3 patients admitted to Kericho District Hospital, and that will be
in relation to the question. Is very good to get further clarification.
Yes.
Because I'm very happy because you have said there will be a reimbursement plan.
Yes.
Is it a decision that maybe the committee decided to sit and say we are going to reimburse the funds? And if there was a decision, what informed the decision to reimburse the funds?
simple question. Where will you get this money to? Where will you get the money to be reimbursed? Is it that you will be holding another fundraising?
No, I did mention to Honorable that there will be a reimbursement plan that will be tabled to the House that will have the details. Then once it comes, once the reimbursement plan comes in,
I'm getting something. If
then we will be able to interrogate.
Where does IFMIS come in when we are handling issue fundraising?
So another one also is that yesterday when we were in Londiani, we were given a bill of 780.
780, yes.
For the deceased. And it was said that it was waived. But if you visit offices, a social service office in the same hospital,
yes,
there is no documentation that shows that these people will waive this much.
Okay.
What happened? Because in district hospital, those documentations are there, but in the other hospital, there is none that shows that this amount was waived.
Okay. So since it's coming to my attention now, I will be able to actually seek to do a follow-up in terms of that documentation. Thank you.
Last question is that when did you sit and decide that you are going to do the reimbursement?
Is it? We have a directive from His Excellency in writing.
In writing?
Yes, so which we will also be able to table.
Okay.
And
today?
Additionally, through that we will be able to sit tomorrow as a chair. I have instructed the secretary to the committee to actually call a meeting for tomorrow. It would have happened today, but since I was appearing before this committee, we had to reschedule it.
So that document from the Excellency, are you going to table it today or?
I can table it tomorrow because I can see it's almost 6 now. I need to ensure that it's picked from the office.
When did he decide to write for reimbursement?
When there was a directive that His Excellency gave through a press conference, and immediately after the press conference, the respective departments were given that directive to do a reimbursement plan. Now that we can together confirm that our systems are back and working.
So on Wednesday. So you decided the other day on Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay. Does it mean maybe this thing was decided after the blow, after the whistle blowing, or what happened?
No, it was within the schedule of the committee. Yeah. I did mention that the unfortunate incident happened at the close of the financial year, exactly on 30th of June. And therefore, most of the systems were actually down. And because of that, now that is back to normal. And we had to reschedule a meeting for this afternoon for me to appear to the committee. We will now be able to sit tomorrow and share it with the team, the reimbursement plan. It's important that it gets to the committee. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. So maybe just allow me, members, because they have said that because of the issue of end of financial year 30th, does it mean that one alone made you to decide that you are going to pay using fundraising money and then later on reimburse back? Or is it because of only that alone?
Actually, it was tied to a financial year, nothing more.
Nothing more.
Nothing more.
So did you maybe consult with Supertrix and say, wait, and then he said, no, I'm supposed to be paid now?
We did a lot of consultation, and since you see the function was happening on Tuesday, we were reliably informed, and the confirmation of the chief guest happens on Sunday afternoon. So we had a short period that the leaders met on Monday and also agreed on the service provider in that meeting.
Thank you so
and
much.
If I can table the pictures of the leadership as they were supervising the preparation of the crown in terms of sanitation, I have them here also as evidence. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, are you aware that the governor's directive for waivers was just but a FAPOL directive? in both hospitals, that is Kericho Referral Hospital and Londiani, there is nothing, there is hakuna even a single document that was sent to the respective medsups to confirm that the waiver will be done. You know that it was just a verbal communication.
I responded to Honorable Albert that because of time, I will be able to table tomorrow the written communications from the governor to all the hospitals and also to the committee members. I will be able to table it for record purposes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daktari, for your submissions.
Parting shot. One parting shot. Daktari, when we are going for fundraising, we do normally not know how much we can contribute. Suppose we contributed 2 million. What could you have done?
Okay.
And you have hired a tenth of 3 million.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. I think it's a parting
Thank you so much, Daktari, for the submissions. So this committee is so grateful for finding time to be here, for honoring our invite. I want to give you a chance to maybe give us also a parting shot.
Thank you, Chair. One, I must appreciate that you have made me healthy this afternoon because I've made the required amounts of water. Thank you for that. And I must also appreciate the committee for doing groundwork because as you did engage me, it was actually evidence-based discussion that I have to appreciate your team chair for also the good groundwork. Number 3, I have to appreciate the subcommittee, the committee, Adhoc committee, for raising concerns that I will also be able to do a follow-up in terms of the documentation process in Londiani and also looking at the issues of electricity. We noted in Londiani that our mock only, the mortuary could take 16 patients, yet on day 1 we had 48, 16 bodies, yes. 16 bodies, thank you for correction. So it can only take 16 bodies, so there was a prior plan to have a mobile mock that was actually using a lot of electricity to cover the remaining because there was that mobile mock that I know the Honorable Member Brenda will be able to also table the evidence and the pictures. I must appreciate your warm reception. I've had lunch, I've also had water, and I want to say that continue with the oversight role, not only in the matters, but we'll also appreciate as executive when we are called in to be challenged, especially on matters development. We can all be able to work together as a united county. I submit to you, and I want also to reassure that where there are systems that needs to be fixed, then I'm equal to the task in terms of fixing the system. Thank you. Through the support of His Excellency the Governor. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. Maybe any closing remark from Vice Chair?
So, thank you so much, team, for the healthy contributions that we've made this afternoon. Thank you, CS, and I think it is worth it doing, this fact-finding mission is worth it because we realized yesterday that body parts are still lying in even Londiani, awaiting mini burial. So this incident, it is still touching the public, and we have to prosecute it accordingly. Thank you so much.
On behalf of this committee and on my own behalf, thank you so much. In case you still have some evidence that you would wish this committee to have, you are welcome. Then in case also we need you any time before the closure of our time frame. We will also invite you again. Kindly hoping you will honor our invite again to shed more light on the same. Thank you, and may God bless you as you are ushered out by our Sergeant at Arms. Thank you so much.